Tasha K actually dropped a follow-up video talking about the copyright strikes and everything going on, but hold up, some of that footage is already gone because the video was set to private. So now we're here doing a follow-up on Tasha K, specifically over on Unwind with Tasha K. And listen, based on the screenshot, I'm not about to play games or clickbait you. At around 2:12 p.m. Eastern Time, that's when this was captured. And I was watching the video because the title alone had people hooked. Last message, extreme turn of events? Girl, that's a bold claim, so you already know everybody was waiting to see what really happened. But here's the twist. Before the video went private, the only part I caught was Tasha K thanking her winos for stepping in and allegedly flagging YouTubers who had reposted her paid content from Tasha K Live. And she also mentioned that emails were supposedly sent out warning creators to take down videos containing her paywalled material. Now listen, I can't confirm if actual copyright strikes were issued or if it was just warning notices being sent out, because nobody's fully confirmed that part yet. But what I can say is this: the tone, completely different from what she said before. Because earlier, she was coming in heavy, talking about hiring an intellectual property attorney and taking things as far as they could go. Strikes, channel risk, the whole 9 yards. She even called out people trying to sneak and watch what she was sharing over on her site. According to her, she's got a mix of celebrities, creators, and even critics tuned in over there. And somehow, somebody screen recorded it and brought it back out into the public. Now here's where it gets interesting. Tasha K made it clear in that private update video that she doesn't care how that content was obtained. But at the core of it, this is really about protecting paid content and making sure people aren't taking what's behind a paywall and using it on their own platforms. And listen, I've actually seen this play out before with Melody Sherry from Love and Marriage Huntsville. She rolled out a Patreon and even started with a private Facebook group, and she made it very clear what happens inside stays inside. If anybody leaks or shares content outside of that space, they're gone. And on top of that, she straight up said if people try to use her Patreon content without permission, she's got legal protection in place to defend her intellectual property. So I've always stood on this. If content is behind a paywall, you respect that boundary. Simple.
Respect the creator, respect the work. Because once it's paid, it's paid. No loopholes, no shortcuts. But here's where it gets interesting. I don't think this was just about Tasha K on the surface. Nah, hold up. There might be more going on beneath that. Because to me, it really feels like this ties back to that ongoing situation involving Anton Daniels. There were allegedly claims or discussions about Anton that came from Tasha K's paywall content, and somebody decided, let me bring this to YouTube and expose it. But let's be real for a second. You don't even need that. There's already plenty of free content out there on Anton to form opinions without pulling from private material. But the real issue, it wasn't just the topic, it was how the information got out. We're talking about a Zoom call, real people, real names being mentioned on that call. And then things escalated, because apparently a federal worker even had a coworker mention seeing her on Tasha K's YouTube platform. Now that right there, that's when things shift from just content sharing to something a lot more serious. And you can already see why this blew up the way it did. And let's be real, I don't know if that employee faced any consequences or if anything is actually going to happen to them. But flip it around for a second. If that kind of information gets exposed, you've got another side to this whole situation. Because now people who were inside that Tasha K space could turn around and say, hold up, this was supposed to be private. My info was supposed to stay protected. Nobody outside of that Zoom call should even know I was there. But here's where it gets tricky. Listen to this. Not everyone in those paywalled spaces is a fan. Some people are there for the wrong reasons. Some are watching quietly, screen recording, just waiting to see what they can leak, what they can expose, and where they can push the narrative. That's why I always say this game is deeper than people think. Because once you start dealing with certain fan bases, certain topics, or certain personalities, especially when it comes to public figures, you start seeing how far things can really go. And you won't believe this. The moment you start seeing the comments, the DMs, the reactions, that's when you realize what people are capable of. At that point, it stops being just content. It becomes about protecting your platform. Because when things get out of hand, that's when you start seeing doxing, harassment, people going after families, and even coordinated attempts to report channels just to get them taken down.
And let's be honest, that's not about the content anymore. That's personal. Now hold up. This is why I feel like we've completely lost the plot. Because YouTube literally gives you options. You can click those 3 dots and hide someone's content. If you don't like somebody, you don't even have to see them. Simple as that. So the question becomes, why are people going out of their way to engage, attack, or even try to tear down content they claim they don't want to see? Because at that point, it's not about ignoring content anymore. It's about control. So yeah, let's go deeper into this Tasha K and Cardi B situation. Because honestly, a lot of this could have been avoided. A lot of it really didn't have to get this far. But here's my take, and I'm standing on it. This whole situation gave Tasha K a lane to expand her platform, push her visibility, and level up in the public eye. And listen, the reality is, she's making money from this. She's doing very well for herself. Did you catch that last Friday show? Those Gucci sunglasses? Yeah, she's not struggling. She's making it very clear there's money in what she's doing. But here's the twist. Hold up. It feels like the real issue isn't just the content. It's that she doesn't want Cardi B tapping into that same lane. Every time Cardi B files another motion or takes action, you notice the content flow from Tasha K ramps up again. And that right there keeps the conversation going, keeps the content coming. So in a way, the situation feeds itself. Now, like I said earlier, the video got pulled and went private before I could get everything. But from what I did see, she wasn't naming any content creators directly. And I'm still waiting to see if there's a response to what was said about her, especially from that attorney perspective on YouTube, because there were also conversations about bankruptcy, the ongoing case, and why Cardi B keeps pushing things back into court. Plus, there's been talk about adjustments to the payment plan she agreed to. But again, I didn't get all of that. What I did catch was enough to understand the direction. She was thanking her supporters, the winos, for sending in links and pointing out videos that allegedly used her paid content. And she mentioned that emails were sent out, warnings basically, telling creators to take down certain content tied to her paywall. Now listen, I can't confirm if these were actual copyright strikes or just warnings, because there's a difference. A strike hits different, it affects your channel. A warning is more of a notice. Take this down before it escalates.
So right now, it's not fully clear where this is headed. But one thing is certain, the situation is still evolving, and we're not seeing the full picture just yet. But at the end of the day, just protect your platform. That's the real message here, because not everything is worth the risk. Some topics, listen to this, they can spiral fast. And once things start going left, it can put your whole channel in jeopardy. So now you've got a decision to make. Do you keep talking about it? Do you work around it? Or do you just step away completely? And yeah, those are real decisions every creator has to face. But nonetheless, here's the update as I saw it. Tasha K dropped a video that's now private. In that video, she was thanking her supporters, the winos, and encouraging them to keep sending links of people allegedly using her paywalled content on their platforms. And according to what was said, warning emails have been sent out to certain creators. And if anyone keeps moving in a way she doesn't approve of, she's basically saying her supporters will keep flagging it. Now that's my takeaway from what I was able to see before it disappeared. I don't know what else was said after that. But I gotta keep it real. The title alone had everybody thinking something major dropped. Last message, extreme turn of events? Hold up, what actually happened? Did someone get hit with strikes? Did a channel go down? Because those are the questions people immediately had. And right now, we just don't have that answer. So for now, we're left with the speculation. But that's where I'll leave it. That's the update. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next one.